Hello, hello, hello. It's Kate Bolt, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Here in the UK, I'm back for another Coffee and Cards Live. How are you this fine Tuesday? I'm just going to check on my laptop that I'm live in the right place here on YouTube. Let me just check a minute. Let's come out of that. I don't want to be in someone else's thing. Let's have a little look. So, it's not such a bad day here in Buckinghamshire in the UK. It's a bit cloudy, but it's dry. That's a good thing. And it's feeling very spring-like. Here we go. I am live in the right place, which is grand. Now, if I look at you on my laptop, it means I can see any comments that come up and hopefully respond to them. So I'll just wait a minute to see if anybody joins me live. I am going to grab my coffee. I have a beautiful cup of coffee brought to me by my lovely husband. It is Coffee and Cards after all. So say hello if you join me live. I'd love to say hello to you. Tell me where you're from. Okay, that's my lovely coffee. I can't let it go cold. It's too good. It's too nice. Hello, Lou. How are you? Thank you for joining me, love. I am gulping away, which is so rude. Let's put that away. Okay. So I'm here live with you. Hi, Shaz. How are you, my lovely? Hi, Margaret. You're born in Lincolnshire. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies. So I thought I would play with this new stamp set. It's really gorgeous. It's called Irresistible Blooms. It's part of a new bundle. And we've had it as demonstrator pre-order for a month, and it goes live tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 1st of March, isn't it? Do correct me if I'm wrong. It goes live to customers to purchase tomorrow on March the 1st. So I thought, well, I might as well play with it today and have a bit of fun with it. So you have the gorgeous stamps, the gorgeous dies. You also have the designer series paper, which I've got right here, which is really pretty. And some of the dies cut some of the images out. And you get these lovely loose, they are called loose. Let's have a look. Loose frosted dots. Oh, love these. Look at those. Oh, they're beautiful for all sorts of projects. I am in love with the colours of those. So those of you who are into Stampin' Up! And know your colours, can you spot something interesting in the colours of this suite? I'll let you think about it. Because we have a couple of old in colours that were in colours, and they are returning with this suite. Now, I don't know if they're going to stay. I don't know, but have a look at these. Aren't they gorgeous? So beautiful, beautiful designer series papers. So we're going to play with that. But what we're going to make is something a bit fun, which I thought you'd like to see. I've made this card before, but I haven't made it for about 2 or 3 years, probably. Oh, let's have a look. Oh, you're absolutely right, Shaz. We've got Pretty Peacock Bag and Lost Lagoon. Hi, Carol. Thank you for joining me. Can you see me okay? And is the internet connection okay? Because my Mac is getting very old and it's not liking it at the moment, but my phone is very happy. So it looks like I'm okay, but my Mac is sad and old. If you could let me know in the comments, that would be grand. Okay, so I think we're good. So I picked out a couple of pieces of paper. That's what I'm going to use. The papers are just really pretty. Really, really pretty. So I don't want to lose anything. I'm good at losing things. So I'll show you what we're going to make. We're going to make an aperture shutter card. I haven't made one of these for a long time. So a card that you have, which will have a secret message inside. Look at these beautiful papers. I am going to decorate this when I finished with it. But this was my prototype. And you open it out and you get the message inside. How cool is this card? Now, I've made this one before with a springtime theme about 7 years ago. And then I made it again about 3 years ago, but I used it with some nautical theme. And I haven't made one forever. And I thought, you know, they're not hard to make. I'll show you how to make one. So Okay guys, now I will try and update my blog and pop all the measurements of all the bits you need over on my blog in the next couple of days so that you don't have to worry about writing all the measurements down. We are going to work in inches today to make life a little bit easier, because that's how I did it before and it would have been a whole job to convert it. So I'm at inches. I hope that's okay. Right, guys, we have, hi Anthony. I'm just talking about the beautiful, pretty peacock colour that's come back. Are we happy? We have a card base. This is my card base, and that measures 5.5 by 8.5 inches. I have used the colours that are in the designer series papers and picked it out for my card base. Yes. Right. Oh, and tell me what the weather's like where you all are. It's pretty overcast here, but at least it's dry. So I've got my trimmer, I've got my card base, and I'm going to do scoring to make this into a card base. I'm going to score it at 2 1/8 of an inch. So the long marks are the 8ths and the short marks are the 16ths. So 2 1/8. There we go. And then the other one is 6 3/8, which I find very hard to work out on this trimmer. I don't know about you, but I worked it out. It was just about up to where the join line is on the trimmer. So 6 1/8. And it looks slightly bigger on that side. Yeah, I had to redo it. I'll do that again, just inside that. I think I need to measure it with my ruler. I don't think it really matters if it overlaps though, because it's not going to affect the mechanism of your card at all. It would look just fine. So I'm just going to re-burnish my score lines there and bring my trimmer out of the way. Okay, let's do that. There we are. So that should be in half. That's better. There we go. So we have scored it. And we've scored it at 2 1/8 and 6 3/8. Okay, so that's our card base. Yes, you can turn your cardstock as well. Right, okay. So now the other pieces that we need, I've cut some up already. What have I done with it all? I've got it all out. I need 2 pieces of basic white. They both measure the same. Now you can change the colours up of your elements of your card. Once you see how it goes together, you can change them up. So these are 3 by 5.5, and I've got 2 of those. Okay, they're going to go inside my card. And then I have got 2 pieces that are the same colour as the base of my card. And this is, what have I gone for? Petal Pink. And these are for the shutter mechanism, and they are 3.5 inches by 4 inches, and you want 2 of those. So it's a beautiful blue sky where you are, Shaz, but it's cold. How nice is that, though, to have the sun? It's just a bit miserable looking here, and it's cold. But never mind. Spring is on the way. Spring's coming. It's St. David's Day tomorrow. How excited is that? How am I? Okay, so this is where I'm going to start doing bits and bobs. I will need some designer series papers, and I'll give you the measurements for that when I cut them out. But these are all the card pieces you need. Bringing in my trimmer now, I'm going to do a bit of measuring. So these pieces that are the mechanism, with the short piece at the top of my trimmer here, I want to find the centre point. Now, so the centre point of it is 1 3/4 inches. So I'm going to go up to the top of my trimmer. I'm going to measure 1 3/4, and where the little groove is, I'm going to put a little mark with your pencil. Make sure it's with the pencil. This is a rub out pen, so same thing. 1 3/4 inches. Put a little mark on both ends. So we've got 1 on both ends. All right, and then I'm going to do the same on this other one. So they're both going to be exactly the same. And this is so that I can find the centre point a couple of inches down. All right, so I've got that going on. Then I'm going to bring my ruler in. So you do need a ruler with inches on if you're making it right. So now I've got a straight line top to bottom, and I can work out where 2 inches is. So make sure I keep it lined up, and I'm going to put a 2-inch dot on that one here. And it'll be the center, and a 2-inch dot, because it's a 4-inch piece. So a 2-inch dot on that one. We'll make sure it's in the center there. There we go. So that's all the measuring we need to do. And then we're going to cut it to make the shutter mechanism for our card. So we don't need these dots anymore on the end. So we're cutting from this center point here. All right. And we are going to put it in our trimmer. I don't know if you can see that. And we're going to line up this channel where we cut and score. And we're going to line the point up in that one and the dot that we've made. And we're going to cut into that dot. You do little tiny increments to make sure you don't go over it. There we are. So we've done it that way, and then we're going to turn it around and do it the other way. Easy as pie. It's a good way to do things like that on your trimmer. Okay, so bring it in again. Bring it right up, and this piece should then come out nicely. And you've got this kind of like Pac-Man type thing, if you like. Honestly, where's the other one? There it is. So you might have heard my dog just let himself in. He just wants to be part of the action. My big dog. He's not a little dog. Right, okay. So I'm going to do the same on this side. Make sure you keep it still. That's it. Into the center, and on this one. So both of them, you're going to make your little shutter aperture, your little Pac-Man piece, like that. And we don't need these bits. You can save those for something else. Are you still with me?
I hope you are.
This suite's beautiful, Carol. I completely agree with you. Not sure why I put my trimmer away, because we do need it. Okay, so we're going to put this piece on the side, and exactly opposite our V, we're going to score at 1/2 inch, because this is going to be like a little seam where we will attach it to our card. It will go like this and attach to our card. So on both of them exactly the same, like that. There we are. So that's that. And rub out your pencil marks like that. Don't need to worry about that one because that will be underneath, but yes, I will. So that's that. So we got those, and we can burnish those. Use your bone folder or a ruler or whatever you've got. Okay, and this is going to be how your mechanism works. It's very simple and easy. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the side, and I'm going to bring in one of those pieces of basic white card. I'm going to cut a piece of our designer series paper to go on top of it. So decide which piece of your lovely, gorgeous paper you want to go on top. And it's really beautiful. So I picked out any sheets. Even the backs are gorgeous. I think I am going to have the pink in the middle. So this is going to be exactly the same size as the white. Okay. So this designer series paper piece is going to be, you need one, what about where I put it? Oh yeah, 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. So cut it at 2 3/4. So this paper is perfect because it's a 6-inch square. 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. I'll take a bit off there. It gives it more colour variation. So that should be, oh no, that's not. Oh yes, that's right. That is right. It's not exactly the same. I've taken off 1/4 inch. So this is just slightly smaller. And it fits on there and gives a nice border. Do you see that? And we're going to glue it on. So we don't need to do any more except for glue it on. And I think I'm going to use my liquid glue. So I'm going to cut a hole in the middle of this once it's stuck together. And this is going to go on the inside middle of our card. These are really fun to make. Once you've made one and you kind of worked out exactly how it all works. Oh, what am I doing? I normally put the glue on the paper. Once you've made one and you've worked out exactly how it all works, you'll be making tons of these. They're so much fun to make. Right, let's take that bit of glue off. We don't want extra glue. There we are. So we've got our piece. We're going to have this piece. Okay, and we're going to have our other white piece. And the other white piece we're going to do the stamping on. It's going to go in the middle of our card. This piece is going to have a hole cut out of it, and it's going to go over the top. And you can have it any way up. I think that's the way. So I'm going to cut a hole out now. I am going to cut it slightly, not quite in the middle, but slightly a little bit higher, just a little bit. And I have used one of the Stylish Shapes dies. Let's see if I can tell you which one I use, which circle I use. Look at mine. What a mess. So I have used the third one, the third largest from the outside in for my aperture of the Stylish Shapes dies, the circle. And I'm going to pop that through my Stampin' Up! Cut and Emboss machine. Got it next to me. So who's excited about the new colour? We've got Lost Lagoon. We've got Pretty Peacock. I'm very excited. But there's room. We don't know. But as soon as we do, we'll tell you. Wouldn't that be exciting? Might just be us all getting too excited, to be fair. But we're very excited, so yeah, we'll let you know. So I'm going to cut out my circle in the middle of my designer series paper piece that's stuck on the white card. Right, I just wonder if I've gone up a bit far. I'm just going to reposition it. Alfie, don't bark at pigeons. So I can see out of my front window 2 pigeons brazenly walking around the street. And the dog has got he's on alert. Let's put it that way. Okay. So that's that one. Now, definitely keep this piece and use it. How beautiful is that? Keep it and use it for something else. Because how pretty is that? And the one that I made earlier, I've also kept. Okay, so it's going to go on here. And you can then see where you're going to be stamping behind it. So let me grab some stamps. Now, I thought I would make a birthday card. So I've got Hooray, It's Your Day. But I need to clean that. Oh, actually, no, I use the same ink. I'm going to go with Pretty Peacock because it contrasts the... This has got Petal Pink and Daffodil Delight in it. What do you think of this suite, guys? Tell me, do you like the pretty colours in it? And in the middle, I'm going to put Hooray, It's Your Day. So I'm just holding this on the top. I'm not gluing the layers together, but I'm just working out where my hole is, where my stamps can go. You're excited to hear what the other new products are coming March the 1st. They said there would be more. They did, didn't they? So I'm hoping that we might find out shortly. I can only guess. Okay, so I thought I'd put some of these lovely flowers. So I've taken one of the flower stamps from the stamp set. It's such a pretty stamp set and the font is gorgeous. So Irresistible Blooms. So we've got these beautiful flowers, the leaves. We've got some lovely splatters. And we've got this lovely, lovely flaunt. We've got a lovely flaunt with lovely flazes. So sorry. So I'm going to stamp flower in Petal Pink. To excuse me. And the idea is that some of it will show up through the aperture. Just a little bit. Right, so I've got my flowers and you'll be able to see if you put that back on there, what's actually showing through. And I'm going to bring in the leaves. So there's a double leaf here from the stamp set. And I'm going to bring in the soft sea foam, which is such a pretty, pretty colour. And it's part of this suite with the DSP. So I'm going to use that too. And just fill it in. Look aren't they gorgeous? Love that. And just add a little bit more in there. And then we'll see what actually shows up when we pop it on. And you can see how pretty that looks. With the simplest bit of stamping on there. So I just used 3 colours and pop that on there. So now comes the part where we construct our card, okay? So the first thing to do is to put this down the centre of the card. So I'm going to use some liquid glue. And I'm going to just stick that in the card and just going to, by eye, pop it down the middle there. I've only got one card for you today because this is a fancy fold. I have no idea why they call these cards fancy folds, but you know what I mean. It's fancy. Right, okay, and this is going to go here. Now, work out where you need your aperture to go, because if you stick it too far down, you're never going to see your phrase. So work it out. I'm going to use some tear and tape for mine. This is going to go on before this piece. Does that make sense? And where this edge is that we've scored the line, we're going to pop a bit of tear and tape or whatever glue you prefer to use. You want something that's going to be pretty robust. Here we go. I think this is fun. I'd love to send this to someone. Some nice happy mail. Right, while we're at it, I have to say, I have to do it. I would not be doing my job if I didn't. Don't forget, guys, today is the very last day of celebration. The very last day of this year's one and only celebration. So if there was anything in celebration that you wanted, or you wanted that amazing joining offer, and who wouldn't, because, you know, £170 worth of goodies, honestly, you have to do it today, and don't leave it too late in the evening, because I think probably about 10 p.m. would be safest if you're going to order anything. So I've said my bit. You can find the links to my online shop in the description box. Okay, so I'm going to line this up so that it meets together. Now, when you stick it on here, you want it to be behind this, so this can still fold. So it has to be the other side of it. Be careful and make sure you've got it lined up, which I haven't. Line it up really well, and then don't stick it too hard, and then you can kind of, says me, you can kind of move it around a little bit. There we are. That's not straight, that end though. And then you should have it roughly lining up like that, which is pretty good, I think. It's still not quite right, but I don't think I'm going to get that off there again, am I? Oh, a little bit. Let's move it down a tad. No, the other way. There we go. Didn't have this problem earlier on, honestly. There we go. That's perfect. Now, I did think about this, by the way, and I haven't tried it, but I think it would look really nice if you put some of the designer series paper down this and down this before you stick them together. So it might be interesting to see how that would work. And now we're going to put our piece on here. Now, we don't want to obstruct our mechanism, opening and closing. So we're going to use some dimensional foam pads to leave a gap, and we're only going to use them on the top and the bottom. Don't put anything down the sides that will obstruct your mechanism. So you can use some of these, or you could use some of the adhesive tape, the foam adhesive tape, to make it stand up and let that mechanism slide underneath. Okay, so just take the backs off. We are getting there. Right, okay. So we're going to put it on over the top. Make sure it all lines up. Okay, so we'll then see that it opens and closes really well. Now the next thing we're going to do is cover the front of our card. So my other piece, the contrasting piece that I chose in this lovely pretty peacock colour, which I love, okay, so I'm going to get a piece of the designer series paper and I'm going to cut that up. So I've got for the front, I need it 5 1/4 by 1 7/8. So let's do it at 5 1/4 to start with, because that leaves us a nice piece there. And then 1 7/8, which is almost to the end, but not. And then another one at 1 7/8, like that. So guys, who's going to have a go at a shutter card? Have a go, they're fun. They really are. So we're going to pop this one on here and this one on here, like that. Now you can see I cut them next to each other, so they actually match. They actually would seamlessly match, if that makes sense. So let's go with the liquid glue again. You could use any glue you like. That's also a very pretty pattern on there. Wouldn't that be lovely? But I think I'm going to go with the leaves. I love this suite. I think it's very versatile. And I think we have a lot of flowers, but this one, I love the font on the sentiments, and also I think it's a good all-rounder, but it's the colours in the paper, so pretty. Different. Margaret says it's different. You've not seen this design before. Do you mean in the card that I'm making, or in the designer series papers? I hope you do have a go. They're really not difficult. Once you've sussed out all your different bits of bobs and cut them ready, you're away. So that's that. So we've got this one. Hooray, it's your day. And then we need to make a belly band to go on the front. So I'll show you how to do that. Now, I could use this piece that I've got left, which is rather pretty. And I think, oh, the card design. Oh, that's good, Margaret. I'm glad it's something a little bit different. So I'm going to use this piece I've got left. I really like this colour. So, I mean, you could use either of them and just use the other side. That one's rather nice as well. But I think I'll tie it in with that one. And I need for my belly band. Now, if you're using larger designer series paper to make this card, you know, the 12 by 12, you'll need a belly band that's 1 inch by 11 inches. But because this is 6 inches, I'm just going to cut 2 1-inch strips, and I'm going to make them work. And it does work okay. Okay, so there's my 2 1-inch strips. And then we're going to make it work. So we can have it that way, but I think I prefer it this way. So we are going to join it together like this, and on the front. Now we just want an overlap, but not too much. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on one edge, and where I want my overlap is on the front near the middle, because I'm going to put my closure there, my other circle die. So I'm just going to put that there, which will cover it up and you won't see it. Okay, so make sure that's stuck well. Give it a second. And then, which it isn't, let's give it a minute. Just hold it together. I just had a phone call from the school. I've got a missed call, so let's just go to that as soon as I'm off. Right, okay. Here we go. I'm going to wrap it around the sides, so you don't have to score. Just wrap it around. And we're going to bring it over the top like that. I'm not too worried that I have a join on the back. I don't think it's an issue. Okay, but you can make it shorter, but it's fine. It doesn't really matter. So if you pull it too tight, you are not going to get your belly band on and off very well, but you still don't want it to fall off. So just have a little bit of leeway on it so that you can slide it up and down the front of your card. Okay, excuse me. And then we're going to go in with another circle die. So this is the next size up from the one that we already used for our aperture inside the card. The one I'm going to use now is the next size down, I mean. So the one smaller. We're going to do two. So the smaller one that I'm going to use is going to be in white. So I'm just going to cut that one out as well. And we're going to do some stamping on that. There we go. So that one's for stamping. And that's going to go on there. And see how it hides our join really nicely. And then I think I was going to put it in petal pink as I did in this one. But I think I might use some of this paper if it's big enough. I'm not sure. Oops, daisy. So that's the size up, the same size as we used for the aperture. Hello, Amanda. Oh, I'm sorry your notifications are not working. That's annoying, isn't it? I'm so sorry about that. Oh, but I have got the piece that I cut out of the middle. Now, that would be beautiful, wouldn't it? So why don't we use that? It's already made for us. Okay, so I am going to put hello in that contrasting pretty peacock ink. Oh, you don't have to. That's pretty enough on its own, isn't it? Or you could cut the hello out, fussy cut the hello out, and then you'd see more of this pretty paper. But I think I'm going to stamp it onto the circle that I've cut out. So lovely. So that's going to go on here like that. And I think I'm going to use, I was going to stick it flat because I've already got dimensionals in there. But I think I'm going to be extravagant with my postage today and stick a couple of dimensionals on there because I would like to put some of those flowers on there that you can cut from the designer series paper. So I'll show you. Some of the designer series paper you can cut the flowers and leaves from. So you can cut the leaves from here, this small leaf here, and you can cut these two different size flowers here. So I think I might cut and see how it works. I might not want to use it, but we'll give it a go. Right, so here are the Irresistible Blooms dies that we've hardly touched. They've got lots of standalone dies, and this one and this lovely one with all the dots. And some of the designer series paper looks like that too. So let's cut out one of those, and using the leaves, I'm going to cut out a couple of those. So let's have a go. Now I've got a bit of washi tape that's not too sticky, so let's use that and see if I can line it up. It's such a beautiful suite. Which way round does it go though? That is the question. Oh, actually, it's not that difficult when you actually look at the shape in a sensible way. Right, that one there. And then I think I'll do that one in a minute. Let's have a look. We've got one flower. Let's put that to the side so I don't lose it. See what this looks like. Oh, it's quite pretty, isn't it? That is quite pretty. I might cut the larger flower out as well. And I'm going to cut these leaves, and I'm just going to cut a couple of those out. Let's do that. Right, with one. And then I'll do another one. But look how beautifully they cut those leaves out of the paper. I just love it when Stampin' Up coordinate with the designer series paper their dies. I think it's just genius. Just makes our dies work harder for us. So not only can you cut out the stamped images, but you can cut out the paper as well. Right, got that one like that. That's the other dies. Right. Got this one. Lots of leaves in this one. This one also cuts out here. So good. Let's cut that one out. And then I'll cut a large flower. And then we'll see what we've got. We might not use half of it, but we might. And you'll have also seen how that looks to cut out too. Right. So I hope you've all got lovely weeks ahead of you. I'm quite excited to see what's coming out of Stampin' Up this week. I've had my children home over the weekend, so my adult children, which was really lovely, catching up with everyone. Right, okay, so. Right, okay, so I want a larger flower, don't I? Let's try that. And see what it looks like layered up. What have I done with the other larger flower die? No, there's a thing. Does it cut? Do we have a larger flower die? We did, didn't we? Yes. Or is it the same? No, there is a larger die. So I've got my circle die out. I've got that one out. Got the leaves and the small leaf. The larger die. Where have I put the larger flower? How strange. Has it fallen off the other side? No. Let's just check. How many should we have in this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Large flower. I bet you're all shouting at the screen. It's there in front of you, Kate. Are you blind? Oh dear. Has to be done. Right, there we go. Oh, look, these would also cut out, wouldn't they? They would cut out as well, because that's what I've just cut out of the green. Right, let's put this on here. Honestly, too much coffee. So my husband's bought a new coffee machine. That's his new toy. And a bean to cup machine. And so he's experimenting with all the different strengths and flavours. And I'm being spoiled because he keeps bringing me lovely cups of coffee, which is great. However, needless to say, I think I'm rather overcaffeinated. Oh. Okay, right, I've got enough to play with now. I think we've got plenty. Let's have a look. We might not even use it. I just think it looks so pretty. So we've got the hello. We've got the small flower, if I can pick it up off the crease paper. Like that. And then we might tuck those in. So let's have a look and see. Oh, it might be a bit much, mightn't it? I don't know. It's quite pretty. They don't want us to come up, these. Yeah, I'm not sure. It all looks a lot. That's pretty, isn't it? Ooh, I think we're going to leave the flowers out and use them again and just go for this pretty foliage because the colours are beautiful. So sometimes, guys, just play with what you've got and see what it looks like. I mean, most of paper crafting is about playing anyway, isn't it? And deciding what you want. So I'm going without the flowers. I'm just going to pop a little bit of wet glue on the edge so that when I tuck it in, it will stick. I'm going to leave a little gap here. And I'm going to pop this in. And I like the balance of that. I think the flowers were way too heavy for what I'm using them for. I'll pop that there. That's lovely, isn't it? Right, now, glue's going to go on here, not on here. So if I put the glue on there, needless to say, it will go in the wrong place and I'll glue it shut. So I'm going to use some of my seal. And just put plenty on. And that's going to glue on here, like that. And now, the finishing touches will be some of these. I've been excited to use these. So excited to use these. Right. Okay. Oh, aren't they beautiful? They are beautiful. Super stunning. So I'm going to, look, they're not adhesive, but they're gorgeous. God, goodness knows what's going to happen now. I've tipped them all out. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide what colours. And I've got, I think that's Pretty Peacock. Doesn't tell you the colours, but they are the colours that are in the paper. So it's got to be Pretty Peacock. We've got Flirty Flamingo. We've got, I don't know, Daffodil Delight. There's some really pretty colours there. I've got the wrong end. Okay. And there's a few different sizes. So let's have a look at what we've got. So the only thing is they're quite tiny to manipulate. So you probably want to use your take your pick tool. I think I'm just going to use a couple across the card. So let's grab some glue. I'm just going to put a tiny dot here, the smallest, and the smallest dot there. And I'm going to put the yellow one on, or the peacock. I think I'm going to put the yellow. And my putty tool, I think, needs refilling, but you can use the end of it to pop it on. Oh, what's that under there? I think it's a piece of paper. Yeah, there we are. So use the putty tool, I think, is your best friend. Just make sure you got it the right way up. That's so pretty. And I'll use it to put another one on because we want it to all be balanced. And I like odd numbers. I don't know about you. I'm going to put one here where it can be seen. Let's try and pick that one up as well with my putty tool because I appear to have a gluey hand and it's now stuck to my gluey hand. They're everywhere. Right, so that's on there. And I think I might pop a couple, put one here. So I'm going to go a bit mad with these because they're really lovely. I normally just use 3 of anything. One up here. And this is the Pretty Peacock colour. I am very happy with these. Wouldn't these look beautiful in a shaker card? And then one where it's less obvious. Just down there. You're going to leave me with the job of picking up all the little embellishments now, though. I need another tiny peacock one. There's lots of them in there. Right, here, isn't it? Oh, glue. Good job it dries clear. There we go. Okay, guys, let's move those to the side a little bit because I made a great mess. Oh, love it. Let's sort this out. Right, okay, so here's our card that we've made today. So, oh, my belly band has to slide over the embellishments. Just be careful of that if they're still wet because they will slide when it's dry. So there's my belly band, and then you open your card. Hooray, it's your day. How beautiful and how fun is that to make? So there's a shutter card for you made using the Irresistible, I think the suite's called Hello Irresistible. And you can get the stamp and die bundle. You can grab the embellishments and the DSP, and it's so pretty. And it's available in my online shop from tomorrow. So check that out at katebolt.stampinup.net. Here's my prototype that I made with just the hello on, which I'll continue to embellish. And I've got Hooray, it's your day in that one as well. Love them. I hope you've enjoyed it today, guys. I'm going to love and leave you with that card. And I hope you might be inspired and that you really like these colours that we've got going on. Do have a go. Let me know in the comments below if you have ever made a shutter card and how it turned out. I'd love to know. And you can find lots more inspiration over on my website at inkstampshare.ink. Thank you so much for joining me live. I feel like I haven't stopped talking. And if you're watching me from Tomorrowland, please say hello and tell me where you're from. I would love to know, and I always read all the comments. So thank you so much for joining me. Please give me a thumbs up. That really helps me lots. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Take care, and I will see you live on Friday at 11 a.m. Take care, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Amanda. Oh, it's got Floaty Flamingo in it. You're right. That's the other colour, Carol. Thank you. Thanks, Amanda. Thanks, Margaret. Thanks, Carol. Thanks, Anthony. Thank you, Shaz. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. And I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.